Welcome everyone, Costin here with a discussion on the subject of the PC version of No Man's Sky, because there's been quite a lot of responses to the release of No Man's Sky on PC, and it's been overwhelmingly negative. One of the main reasons behind that is due to the fact that the game runs like piss on PC for a lot of people. Not for me, and this is on a GTX 980, a 9740 770K, 16 gigs of DDR3. So I'd expect the game to run well on my computer given how it looks, given the system requirements. So it does, but there's stuttering, there's hitching, there's frame drops. In particular, when you descend on a planet, when you take off from a planet, when you get in your ship on a planet, you do have frame drops. So an issue there, and that's on my computer. Other people are reporting frame rate issues across the board, so not just like, for instance, right there, getting in a ship in a space station, which is almost completely empty. I had a frame drop. Then you get frame drops all across the board when you descend on a planet. So, for instance, there it's going to 40 there, 40, 10, 20. Massive frame drop there, and then it recovers. So there's frame drops. There's stuttering, all that kind of stuff in the game. Quite a few issues on that front. One thing that personally annoys me is that when you start the game, oh man, that is horrible, and then it recovers. So I'm just gonna take off and land again because obviously this is not gonna work. There is on some planets it performs worse than others, and overall there's clearly the PC version was something they did rush. In fact, they did delay releasing it because they wanted to spend a bit more time working on it, but not enough to actually fully finish it. So quite a few issues. Now keep in mind this is a full planet with the, I guess, I think it's a realistic size. I'm not sure, I haven't explored it. Keep in mind I'm going at 250 kilometers per second. Here. So yeah, quite a lot of frame drops, then recovers, goes back to 60. Now, that's one of the issues. There are many other issues. Like the ground controls are fine, but yeah, they're on the ground. It happens quite often. And it happens to a lot more people. Though this is a particularly bad episode, it might just be because of this particular planet's layout that is happening here. Beyond that, options. When you look at the options menu, so you start in the game, right in the game, you don't enter a menu like in pretty much every other game. Instead, you enter the game itself. You can't delete your saves. I don't see any way, like these are your two saves. You can't delete your saves. Outside of deleting the save file in the application data roaming folder for No Man's Sky. You can delete them there, but beyond that, it doesn't work. On top of that, many of these options, though not all of them, I've seen anti-aliasing, you can change that without requiring a restart. Many of these options require a restart, and the game starts off locked at 30 FPS. The max FPS is set to 30 initially. What the hell sets a game locked to 30 FPS initially? I just really want to know that. Who does that? Because it doesn't make a lot of sense to my mind. Oh, might be I'm gonna disable the anti-aliasing completely. That might help with some of the stuttering. Though, I'm still probably gonna experience some. Yeah, probably the anti-aliasing was the part responsible for some of the stuttering I was getting there when the planet was being loaded. So, quite a few issues. The options menu in itself leaves a lot to be desired. Also because, hey, you want to change an option, you have to hold down a button. You just don't click. You hold down the wheel fills, and then you hit apply. On top of that, like your weapon, so I've got the boltcaster, and I'm gonna fire off an entire clip. it doesn't reload automatically. You actually have to press the reload button yourself. So, for instance, I'm reloading, even though I'm holding down the attack button. Alright. So it's just issues like these, and together they don't form a really pretty picture, do they? And on top of that, obviously people before those sentinels decide, hey, I'm gonna have you for lunch. Good performance that's still occurring. It's not the anti-aliasing that's creating that. I thought for a second, might be, no. Might be, Shadowplay might be contributing to that because this is an OpenGL game and Shadowplay is not designed to record OpenGL games. That's why I started recording in desktop so that it would work. It's basically tricking the program. On top of that, on top of the performance issues, there's control issues. Oh yes, control issues. So for instance, flight controls in particular. So dedicated flight controls, get the fuck out of here, says Hello Games. It's like thrust and brake, that's it. The flight controls in this game are abysmally bad. If you want to talk about simplistic, Battlefield is simplistic. You know, I have the alpha version of Star Citizen, and by the way, if I play the alpha version of Star Citizen, it actually runs better than this if I turn it in offline mode. Just making that point. And that's an alpha, that's clearly unfinished. This is a finished game that runs worse than that. On top of that, the online servers half the fucking time, or even more so than half the time, probably, maybe this game would also run better if I forced it to run offline. But you do actually get credits. You get rewarded if you put in stuff. So yeah, frame rate drops all around the place. Though this is a particular bad, so it might be because this planet is chock full of plants, trees, and all that stuff. I've seen planets where the game ran relatively well, and then planets where it ran extremely poorly. I can't really put my finger as to what causes it, though. Maybe in this case it's pretty obvious that trees. So in terms of flight controls, you rotate with A and D, go forward to W, go back with S, all that. It's like, what about strafing? Well, you can strafe using the mouse, not using the keyboard. I really wonder how this game is with the pad. I really have to wonder about that particular point. How would this game handle if I was using a controller? So controls leave quite a bit to be desired. When it comes to this game, performance leaves quite a bit to be desired. A game that looks like this shouldn't run like this on a GTX 980, let alone people running this on a 1080. I think this game might be better optimized, perhaps. Maybe that's one of the reasons I'm actually running it better than people who have GTX 1080s. It might be because it's better optimized on Windows 10 than Windows 7. Just a thought on that particular subject. Possibly an explanation for why that's occurring. And, you know, overall, it's a damn mess of a PC version. Does it deserve a 2.7 score? Well, I imagine there's a lot of people that are angry that they can't even start the game. They're getting crashes when trying to start the game, and that's understandable. I think it's one of the worst scores I've ever seen, like Metacritic bomb of any game that I've seen in a long time. That says quite a bit. By the way, this massive space station that I'm in here is like just 2 rooms. Yeah, disappointing doesn't even begin to cut it on that. Like, I don't feel the game is bad per se. I just kind of feel that the hype was too much. The media hyped it, Sony hyped it, Hello Games hyped it to, you know, to certain levels that it simply was not, where it was not going to deliver. Alright. I could possibly buy that ship, though it looks like crap. I'm not sure. People that either expected Minecraft in space, and the game obviously doesn't deliver on that level, or they expected Star Citizen or Elite Dangerous, and again, the game didn't deliver on those levels either. The jetpack is also pretty bad. So there's quite a few issues. Do I hate the game? No, actually, am having a relatively good time playing it. Though I should point out that there's been a drought of games recently, so hey, having something to actually sink my time into, to really sink my claws into, kind of makes up for a lot of the deficiencies, perhaps, to me. So I might be biased because of that. It's certainly, you know what, I don't think, given the issues it has, and given the content it has, is it worth the €60 price tag? The answer to that question is a firm fuck no. Really, it's not worth it. You can't justify the price point. That's insane. Anyway. So, that's all I had to say. There's still a lot of work. They have stated that they're gonna work on it to improve the performance of the game, but remains to be seen whether or not they'll actually deliver on that. Costin here on Serious Gaming signing out, and stay tuned for more because I will be continuing my playthrough of No Man's Sky.